Hi, my name is Rebecca, and welcome to an episode of Hashtag Movie and Stitch. Today I'm going to be reviewing my movie for the letter X. I'm going to show you my project, and I'm going to let you know what I'm going to watch for my letter Y. So for the letter X, I watched a movie called Exchange, and I've got IMDb pulled up here on my iPad, so I'll give you a little bit of its statistics here. It was made in 2001. It's rated R, and it's an hour and 50 minutes long. Its little tagline says, "In the future, where it is faster to travel by exchanging bodies with someone at that destination, a man's body is hijacked by a ruthless terrorist." So it stars Stephen Baldwin, Kim Coates, and Kyle MacLachlan. Okay, so this movie, I did finish watching it. I mean, it wasn't completely unfortunate, but it is not the best movie. So Stephen Baldwin plays, he's like a clone. They call him a JF, a JEF. I can't remember what it stands for. But it's like a body that you can exchange into, but it's only good for like so many days, and then it'll start to rot and deteriorate. So they mainly use them like for emergency situations, or for dangerous like jobs or whatever, where like, you know, parts of your body's going to be cut off or something like that. So you have a man who is like a corporate man. So this is like supposed to be futuristic. So he's like, he works for this big corporation, and the CEO of this corporation is murdered, and the board members are getting ready to vote on a new CEO. So from the New York office, they want to send Mr. Toffler to San Francisco. And Mr. Toffler is played by Kim Coates. Now, I know him from, he played on Sons of Anarchy as Tig. So it's like when I see him, I automatically assume he's going to be a bad guy, just by the way that he looks. So he was like playing a good guy. So it was a little weird for me. But so Mr. Toffler does not like to do exchange. He's never floated. They call it floating. He's never went into another body. So he's told he has to be at this meeting in 2 hours. And the only way that he can do that is if he goes through the exchange program. So there's that. Now at the beginning of the movie, when the CEO guy is murdered, you see that all go down. It's within like the first 2 minutes of the movie, so I'm not really giving anything away here. You see who murders him, and it is Kyle. The guy plays, it's called, his name is Fisk, but the man who plays him is called Kyle MacLachlan. Now I know him. I've seen it. He plays in Twin Peaks, and he plays in Sex in the City as the one that marries Charlotte, the doctor. I can't remember like what his name is, but those are the two that I knew him from. So he is the assassin. So you know, fast forward. Mr. Toffler goes and he does the exchange, and he wakes up and he's like, oh, well, you know, this is, you know, not as bad as what I thought it would be. So he walks into the board meeting, and the CEO's son comes up to him and is like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, well, I'm Mr. Toffler. They sent me from the New York office or whatever. And then it shows him, and it is Kyle MacLachlan, who was Mr. Fisk. So it's like he went into the assassin's body. So the assassin is now in Mr. Toffler's body in New York. So that was a little bit. So that's the premise of the movie. So, you know, Mr. Toffler goes, does his board meeting, he has to stay overnight, and then he goes back to exchange the next day, and they're like, hey, the gentleman who has your body has not returned it yet. Let's give it an hour or so. So an hour or so goes by, and they're like, oh no, guess what happened? There is a corporate assassin in your body, and he had hijacked, you know, this body that you're in, so we're going to have to give this body back to the original person and put you in a clone, a Jeff body. And he's like, no, I don't want to be in a Jeff body because they can only like exchange so many times or whatever. So what ends up happening is he does go into like a super enhanced Jeff. So that's when Stephen Baldwin comes into play in the movie. And then so Mr. Toffler is inside of Stephen Baldwin's body, and Fisk is inside of Mr. Toffler's body, and of course he's trying to assassinate somebody. So yeah, so this movie, I don't recommend it. It is very cheesy. You can definitely tell this is a like a B-rated movie, D-rated movie, F-rated movie. It is definitely not, like, the fight scenes are cheesy. There's a part where Stephen Baldwin is like sticking his hand like down in this acid, and it's like he's like screaming like bloody murder, but like when you look at his hand, it's like he's just stuck it down in water or something. It's like nothing is happening. It's like, it was very cheesy. There was quite a bit of nudity in it, which I did not know going into it. I think it was very unnecessary for the movie, so I think it was just put there for the sake of trying to draw people in with nudity, because it didn't add to anything whatsoever. It was just pointless. But yeah, so yeah, I don't recommend anybody watch this movie. I did, however, watch it completely all the way through, and if anybody wants to know, spoiler alert, Mr. Toffler gets his body back just in the nick of time, you know, and Fisk dies inside of the Jeff's body, the clone, Stephen Baldwin, and, you know, and Mr. Toffler gets the girl in the end and all that jazz. So yeah, it was very cheesy, and it was, oh God, it was just so cheesy. I do not recommend. So I'm going to give this movie a thumbs down, because it was not good. It was not good. But I didn't really have high hopes for it anyways, because yeah, I didn't have high hopes for it. But so yeah. Okay, so on to what I worked on. So I made a square, of course, and it is the X square. And now the square pattern is free. It's by Maria's Blue Crayon, and the uppercase and lowercase appliques are also free patterns, and they are by the Moogly blog, and they're free on her blog. So the colors I used for the appliques are always the same. It is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn in Fruit Salad. And then this is also a Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn in Peach. So there's what I worked on. I also completed one more square, and it's an and square. It is just a plain fruit salad colored square, and it's the same pattern by Maria's Blue Crayon, Granny Square 2.0, and this will go on the end in the four corners of the blanket, so it'll be like that. So I do have both of these done for the top, and now I have both of them done for the bottom. So I only have 2 more squares to go, and I'll be able to complete my blankets. Yes, there's only 2 more movies to watch, so that brings me into what I'm watching for the Y movie, and I did find this movie on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, it's over there on Netflix, and it is called Yes Day, and it does have Jennifer Garner in it, who I absolutely adore. She is so funny, and she was just, I feel like if you knew her in real life, that she is just going to be awesome. So, and I do believe that she does this with her own children every year. Like they do a Yes Day every year. And it's where whatever the children say, you can't say no to. But like you set up rules for it. But you have parameters. Like you can't say, you know, go out and murder a dog or something like that. And you be like, oh, well, I have to do it, so I'm going to say yes. So there's like rules set up. But it's like supposed to be a fun day where your kids get to choose all of these outrageous things that you guys get to do. So that movie looks like it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm going to check it out. And if you guys come back here in 2 weeks, I will let you know how it was, and I'll show you the project I worked on. So yeah, that's all I've got today, and I will see you guys later. Bye.